So welcome back guys, you are watching Rising Codesera, and in this video we are just going to see what is React and how we can just install the React inside our computer. Okay, so React is the library which is used for creating web application, and we just create web application using React. It is a single page web application, we can just create it. And let's see what is the history of the React. So let's get started. And here you can just see we are having a React initial release date was 29 May 2013. It was released on this day, and React was released first in 2013. Okay, it was released in 2013, and since then it has become one of the most popular JavaScript library for building user interfaces. So what does this mean? It was just built for user interfaces, and it was been built using JavaScript. Okay, it was developed by Jordan Welke. Okay, so the founder of this, he has just developed this. A software engineer at Facebook. He was a software engineer at Facebook. And nowadays, when you just want to download the React, you can just move inside your terminal and download it from your terminal. But before this, it was just available at GitHub, and you can just go on the GitHub, and it was just at that time available on GitHub. It was released an open source. Okay, it was an open source, and now also it is an open source. So we are just going to see how we can just install and all these things. Okay. So this is the basic website. You can just go for react.dev. You can search for react.dev documentation. So as you write React documentation, you will find out that this is the website. You can just go on this. Okay, here. Okay, React develop. So you can just start for learn React, and here you will have the options of just getting dark mode, get into the dark mode. You will get some features of React. And what are the features of React? React is nothing but you can just create different components. Like you can just see over here, we are having different components. Okay, this is called as header component. Then this is the main body of this website. Then at the bottom, you know what is the footer, and you can just see over here sidebar is available, search box. You can just create separate components, and you can divide these components in different teams, and you can just create it and then collaborate at the end. Okay, so here is GitHub. You can just move into the GitHub, and you can read all the documentation according to it. So what is React DOM, document object model? We are just going to know about this inside this playlist. And DOM server. Okay, these are some features of the React, and as the updates are there, it has been shown over here. You can just see and watch out over here all this documentation. Now when you come inside the React documentation, you will find out that when I'm just going to click on the React, they are just making all the documentation very quite simply. We are just going to see all this inside this playlist, and also you can just code over here. Okay, now right now if you just see over here, we have just having a name. We are just going to change a simple name. Okay, if we have just used a simple JavaScript over here, you can just see, and we are just going to see it. The basic important for this video is we just have to see how we can install the React in our PC. Okay, but before this, we just have to see how it has been written. Okay, this is the basic syntax what is there. Okay, so here I'm just going to move, and you can just see here. Okay, you can just see here we have just created an user. Inside this, all the information is been stored. So you can just see here name is been stored, then image URL, and the image size. Simple. Okay, this is quite simple. The next thing we have just written export default function profile written. Okay, so the function name is profile. Okay, and we just want to return this. Okay, we just want to show this inside the HTML page. So this is the JSX. What is JSX? So JSX is nothing but it is an JavaScript syntax. Okay, syntax extension to JavaScript. Okay, so you can just merge JavaScript with HTML. It is called as JSX. You can just click on this, and you can read all the documentation over here. Okay, writing markup with JSX. Markup is nothing but HTML. Okay, JavaScript is JSX with curly braces. Okay, you can just all read all these things. Okay, you can just see over here we have just created an HTML. This is an JavaScript, and inside which we have just written an HTML. Okay, inside JavaScript we have just written an HTML. So it is possible using JSX. So this is also the feature of the React. You can just see over here. The main thing is we just want to install the ReactJs inside this PC. So how we can just go? Okay, so it's quite simple, but before that you should have to download the Node. Node.js is one of the platform. You can just search for Node.js and click on enter. You will get this. So what is Node.js? So before moving to Node.js, we are just going to click over LTS. That means, so LTS is long-term support, so you can just download it. Or if you just want to download any other version from this, you can just search. I think here there is a download button. You can just click over here, and you can just download the version as you want. Okay, current version is 21.7.2 at this time when I'm just uploading this video, and you can just go for LTS, and we are just going to download the LTS over here for the Windows 64-bit. Okay, so it is just started over here, Control J, and you will be inside this. Okay, so it will take 2 to 1 minute. Install ReactJs command. I'm just going to search for this and click enter. So here basically it is being shown that you can just go with npm install first, create react app test project cd. Okay, create a new react app. You can just click on this, move at the bottom, and okay. So here we can just see how we can just create a react app. All the documentation is given, and here my node is being downloaded. But if I'm just going to move inside cmd, and I'm just going to write for node space hyphen version and enter, so it is going to show me the current version, that is 18.17.1, which was been installed before this installation. Right now we are just installing new one. So if I'm just going to see, we are just going to click run as, and okay, I'm just going to click double click and installation. Welcome to nodejs setup wizard, migrating features, states, released application. Next I'm just going to click next. I am going to accept all the agreements. You can just read all these things, then you are going to click on next. Okay, next, and install. So it is going to install within some time, and before it is getting installed, we are just going to see all the nodes for the creating a new app. Okay, so we create a new React app. So React is having a routing experience, so if you are going to move from one page to another page, you can just see over here also how it's moving smoothly. Okay, it is going to load that particular component. So you can see here the search bar is not getting loaded again when I'm just going to click on learn. Okay, I'm going to click on the reference, or I'm going to click on community. This bottom part is only getting loaded. This is called as a routing feature of the React. We are just going to learn about this also. Finish. Okay, I'm just going to click on finish, and I think it has been just installed, so I'm just going to move inside cmd, and I'm just going to write node version. Okay, and so 20 it has been installed over here, and I'm happy with this. Now one thing we just need, we are just going to install all this React. Okay, so this is the first command which we are going to write, npx create react app. Okay, so when you are just installed inside cmd, you can just write npm hyphen version. So npm is nothing but it is a node package manager, and npx hyphen version. Okay, you know what is npx, we have just search for npx. Okay, 10.5.0 new folder, you will give it name as react 2. Okay, I'm just going to give a name react 2 random name. Now here you can just open your PowerShell window. So you just have to open your PowerShell window, you just have to write shift and then right click. Okay, and then you will get here one option, open PowerShell window here. Okay, you can just move over here, or you can just move from the terminal also, VS Code also you can just use it. But basically I would like to recommend it for you just can go, you should go with the PowerShell window. Okay, so here we are just inside the React, we are just inside this terminal, and I'm just going to click on the new terminal. I just want it. Okay, so as you know, you can just go from here, click over here and terminal, and then new terminal. You can go with this or control, and you will get the backtick option. You can just here, I'm just going to write npx create and then hyphen react hyphen app and the app name. So right now I'm just going to write the app name as my first React. Okay, we will give a small name React. Okay, we will give it name as a React app. Okay, simple name we have just given to this, and it is just going to load, and it is going to throw an error. You don't have to worry at the first time. So we have just run this code. Okay, and I'm just going to minimize this. So log okay, this is the error you can just see over here. Okay, error stat user. Okay, so you just have to copy this. Okay, copy this, and okay, you just have to go inside this directory. Okay, so I'm just going to go in C users Lino app data roaming npm. Okay, so now you just go C, then users, then Lino, then you will get here app data. Now you will not get the app data because it is hidden, so you just have to go inside view. Okay, over here, and then you just have to click on the hidden items. You will get here app data. You will get here app data. Okay, you can just see over here inside app data, then inside roaming there is a missing folder, that is npm. So you just have to create a new folder, and we are going to name it as npm and then enter. Okay, so this thing you just have to do. I'm just going to remove hidden items and then close. Now for clearing the screen, you are having a command clear, and then you can just run all the code what we written and enter. Now I think you will not have any errors, and right now it is saying need to install the following packages, create React app. Then we are just going to allow it yes, and we are just going to click on enter. So it is going to take some time while getting installed inside your PC, and it is going to create different libraries. Okay, we are just going to see what the folders are and what are they working. Okay, you can just see here. So it is going to start all the installation of the packages like JSON file. JSON file is nothing but it is JavaScript object notation, that is the full form of JSON. Okay, which version of the package is there. Okay, if you just see over here, okay, you can see name, React app, version, and what. Okay, it is going to control all the packages and getting updated according to that. It just have the key value pair. Key value pair is nothing but you can just see this is a key and it is having certain value. Okay, so it is just like key value pair. Okay, we are just going to download some extensions as well, but not for right now because this is going to make a little bit of complex. Okay, we are not going to download it, and this will take some time while working. It is going to install this packages. You can just see React, then the React DOM, React scripts, and this. Okay, so it will take some time while getting installation. All the installation has been completed, and it is just showing success created reacted app on this location. You can just move at that particular location to see. npm start, you just can start the npm development server. npm run build, when you are just going to finish all the projects, at that point you just have to write npm run build, and it is going to just create all these pages, all these files inside the one. You will get only index.html and some basic things. Okay, so as you just create a static website, you will get all these static things. Okay, npm test, you can just start the test runner. Okay, which is going to test all these components and everything. npm run eject, remove these two copies, build dependencies configuration. Okay, go back, and we suggest that you being a type, you can just go to cd npm start and each and everything. Okay, so when I'm just going to okay, so before moving ahead, knowing all these files, I'm just going to write here npm start, and our project is going to get start over here, and it's saying okay. So for this I am in React 2, and I just want to come inside the React app. Okay, that is the folder name. So I'm just going to write here cd React app, and I'm just going to enter, and inside this I'm just going to write npm start, and it is going to start the website on the browser. Okay, so you just have to allow the access for this, and then it is going to open, it is going to compile all these things, and it is going to open it. So right now it is open at the localhost 3000. Okay, so this is the output of this code which was been inbuilt inside that code. We are just going to delete and create our own code though, so you don't have to worry. So this is, and you can just see over here, this is the image which is getting rotated. This is the favicon, React app, and each and everything. Okay, so let's see. It is just started, and you will get your local address. You can just click on this, and you will get it on your PC. Okay, this is an IP address which I'm not going to show you guys. You will get your IP address, and if you are connected locally to the machine and the phone, you can just get switched to your phone also. You are just going to open this link on your mobile phone, and it is going to work similar over there. Okay, you can test your app on the different platforms. So now you can just see we are having some files, and we are just going to see what are the functions of that file, what are they having inside that file. Okay, so I'm just going to remove all these things from over there. Right now here is the file name, and that is the React app over here. Inside the React app you will get the node modules. Inside this there are different modules which have been installed. Okay, so you can just see over here there are different modules, and in upcoming lectures we are just going to install Bootstrap also. So we are just going to see all the configuration over here. So if you just move at the bottom, and please only run all this React app. So here you can just see there are different files which are having how the React app is going to work. So we don't need it while hosting. So when we just do npm run build, at that point these modules are not getting over there, so you don't have to worry. So here all these things, a huge folder we can just see inside node modules. So it is just like key value pair. You can see there are different libraries, and all the versions are being shown over here. Okay, so you can just see what is been installed over here. Then we are having a public file. You don't have to touch this node modules until and unless we are just going to use any module. Then at that point we are just going to see you don't have to use the node modules. Okay, if you are just going to add a bootstrap, okay, at that point you can just use this. Okay, for right now it is not needed, so we are not going to touch it. And here is the public favicon.icon is nothing but it is an icon. You can just see over here when I'm just going to move at my website. Okay, so where is the website? Okay, it is available at this point. I'm just going to move it to Chrome. Okay, so you can just see this logo. This is called as favicon. Okay, which we can just also change. We are also going to use it again inside back to the Visual Studio Code. And index.html is nothing but it is a code which has been written inside index.html. You can just see over here. This is the title of the app, React app. You can just change it to my app. Okay, we are just going to change it to my app. It's simple like what we just do with the HTML, CSS and JavaScript. And you can just see here the update is been done automatically. Okay, we don't have to save all these files. Okay, one thing you just can do file and you can just start here autosave, which is going to save automatically. And when you can just see over here, we are just going to make some changes. Okay, so I'm just going to write here my app. Okay, I'm going to write. So it is going to compile automatically and run the code over here. Okay. So compile successfully, it is going to compile and automatically it is going to refresh all these things inside the browser. Okay, this is done using npm. Now we are just seeing what is these things. Then we are having a logo.png, logo.png, which we are just going to delete both of them. And manifest.json, which is going to have some files. Like you can just see here favicon icon image, what has been written over here. Okay, that is related to that files which we have just installed it. We don't want it, manifest.json. Okay, where it is, I'm just going to delete this file. So okay, we have just deleted logo and manifest over here. robots.txt, we don't want this file. I'm just going to move from here. And inside the src, there are the main files which having the css and js. Basically inside public, we are just going to have index.html. I'm just going to remove this favicon.icon as well. So clicking over here, it is not getting deleted. Okay, delete and enter. Then next thing, we are having a src file inside which there are app.css, app.js. Okay, and we are going to create our own components over here. Okay, so report web vitals and you will get the test. Okay, report web vitals you can just remove from here. Basically logo svg, which we are just going to remove basically from here. Okay, I'm just going to click over here and delete this file. We don't need it. And you can just delete this file as well, report web vitals. When we are just going to delete this file, at this point you just have to remove this web vitals as well. Okay, so git ignore is nothing but it is a file which is going to ignore all these things which are not required for git. And then doc.json, you can just see over here we are having all the packages, and whenever we are just going to make any changes, we can just get all these things. Package.json, again the same files are there. readme.md. Okay, so these all files we have just seen inside the src, and these things are required for basically to create a first app. Okay, and then we are just going to see all these things inside upcoming lectures. So right now I'm just going to close all these files. So I'm just going to click and close all. We are just going to move inside index.html, and I'm just going to tell you what is the thing over here. Okay, so we are having a basic boilerplate of HTML which we are just going to use, and inside this you can just see right now we are just deleted I think manifest as well link. Okay, we are just going to remove this, and this logo as well I'm just going to remove. Okay, so these all things have been inbuilt inside this, and here div id is equal to root. From here the target is been done inside the JavaScript file src. You can just move inside app.js. We have just taken constant root is equal to react doc create root document dot get element by id, and that is root. Okay, so we have just started from this. Right now we have just deleted this file, so I'm just going to remove all this import from here, and this is the app. Okay, you can just see it is going to render is nothing but, so you can just see here we are having a file name app.js. Okay, so we are just going to move inside app.js, and here whatever we have just written before this, I'm just going to run this in I'm just going to write we are just going to write here cd react app. Okay. So you can just click on this, and I'm just going to open in integrated terminal, and here I'm just going to write npm start again, and it is going to start the development server. Let's see what is the output of this. So for right now, you can just see over here we have just imported logo which we don't need right now. I'm just removing it. So I'm just going to remove this, and okay, for right now I'm just going to remove all these things from here, and okay, we're just going to keep over here a div tag. Okay, I'm just going to remove the class name as well, and we will having and starting and opening tags only. I'm just going to keep over here. Okay, and successful. Okay, it has been open over here, and this is there. Now if I'm just going to move at the bottom point, and I'm just going to write here h1 inside this. Okay, h1, a simple thing we are just going to do, and inside this we are just going to write hello world. We just want to display it. Now when just I'm going to come back to the page, you can just see hello world is been printed, and this is the first application which we have created. So you can just see we have just run this our app, and I'm just going to use the Chrome for this. So you can just move here and see the inspect inside inspect and console. No errors are there. Download the React developer tool. For better experience, you can just download it from the given link. You can just go, and we have just run all the code. Okay, so what is written over here? We are just going to see import app.css, which is the file over here. App.css, you can just make changes. So for right now, I'm just going to remove all these things, and whenever we are going to need it, for we are just going to style something on a function app which is having h1 inside it. It is having an hello world. Okay, now inside the React, we have just created a function name as app, and we have just exported. Export. Why we did the export? Because we just have to access it from the another file over here, app, and here we are just going to do import. So when you just come at this point, we are just going to do export default. What is the name of the app? And index.js will have import, and we are just import it, and we are just write here the component name app, and just closing of this. Okay, we're just going to create some components in next video, so that you will get a proper understand of how you can just create a components and how they have been used over there. Okay, so right now we are having an h1 tag, and inside app. Okay, we are just having one component over here. You can just see app.js, and setup test.js is not the file. You can just see over here. We can just delete this file. We don't need it for right now. So I'm just going to click on delete and move to B. Okay, so we will not have any error. Okay, you don't have to worry about that, and you can just refresh it again if you have some problems over here. Okay, the next thing we are having only app.js and app.css, which will have the CSS file for app.js over here. Okay, then we are having app.test.js, which has been used for testing. We are just going to remove from app.test. Okay, we don't need right now app.test, and you don't have to worry again. You can just see over here. I'm just going to refresh, and you will get all these things. Then index.css is the file for index.js. Okay, all these things are being over here. You can just remove all these things, and you can just make changes, and this is a simple CSS which we write over here. Now again, coming back to the app.js, you can just see we have just created a similar small function which is going to have a name, then the return. Inside return, you can just see we have just created a starting and opening. Okay, and inside the starting opening, we are just going to write all the HTML code, and we have just exported it. Now if I just want to create a class over here, so for this I'm just going to write class and the name, and the class name is going to be h1. Okay, I'm just going to give it name as heady. Okay, so this is the class name over here. So when you just have to create a class name, class inside the React, you just have to write class name. As we use in normal HTML, we just write the class. You just have to write class name, and n must be capital. We are using here camel case. Letter of this second word. Okay, first letter of second word is going to be capital. Now when I'm just going to move at the app.css, I'm just going to write the class name, and that was the what is the class name? We just created it as heading. Okay, so you can just change the color, background color. I'm just going to change the simple background color to aqua, and color to we are going to go with the black. So you can just go with the color code, or you can just write black. Okay, so when I'm just going to move, you can just see this has been just changed over here, and this is the thing which we have just created using React. And in next video, we are just going to see how we are going to create components and many more things, many features of React according to the time as I'm just going to do it. So this is all the things we have just created over here. And if you just want to build, okay, I'm just going to show you how we can just build all these project and how we can host. All these things we are just going to see in the next video. So thank you guys for watching this video and keep supporting us.